Aloha and welcome to Java. Thank you for joining me again. This is for Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. Again, we've got quite a few things going on for today. We'll be kind of watching some jobs numbers and a few other things. So as far as the market goes, we're watching the MMRI did rise yesterday. We're above 250 again. It's been a little bit since that's happened. We had the relative dollar strength and the 10-year yield both gained strength. But as we were talking about, they had been falling and were at a support zone. And so we kind of expected them to kind of come up. And as those increase, it pressures stocks. So we did watch drop yesterday. As of right now, kind of looking at a mixed board is what we're expecting. Oil is recovering from taking a blow the past few days, and the futures are showing a bit of weakness as well. So the sentiment right now is it's kind of edging lower. And as this is saying, NASDAQ records had their worst session yesterday since October. So that kind of puts it into perspective. And people talking about the Santa Claus rally being over. So going into the calendar today, we're getting some manufacturing numbers. The job openings, that one's going to be important at 10 a.m. And then the Federal Open Market Committee meeting, their last meeting notes. That's coming out 2 o'clock, could have an effect on the market depending on their language again. It's not necessarily about the numbers or what's really going on in the economy, but what they say for moving forward. Everybody's listening for what will be considered to boost the rate cut odds. So, as we were saying this morning, talking about a sobering start for 2024, so kind of down. Couple stock specifics here. We've got iron ore, which is a commodity, extending gains as Beijing is purchasing. So there's two things on this. First, I think we're beginning the rotation from the markets into commodities finally. And second, this is also another, as we were talking about yesterday, China is gaining on both their oil reserves and this as well, iron. Those are both, when they start building on both of these resources, it's in preparation for war. And that doesn't mean that's guaranteed, but that is one indicator of that. So also wanted to bring up there was a recall on Ford this morning. So if you're trading, day trading, a decent sized recall. So that will be negative for Ford this morning. So on to the economy in general. This is coming up again, the national debt for the United States. They're talking about possibly shutting down the government, US government again, and that's not going to happen. They always argue about this, and uh, they're going to come up with some type of spending package, things that they're going to come up with a deal, probably last minute again, as they generally usually do. Throw in their last minute spending things so that no one can vote against it, and it will increase, basically inflate the money supply again. We'll see how it plays out, but that's historically what they do. So I'm sure that everyone heard about the Japan Airlines in Tokyo that hit the basically the Coast Guard airplane. Unfortunately, 5 people lost their lives in that, but it burst into flames. All of the passengers off the Japan Airlines flight got off safely. But the bigger story that I wanted to bring up, and I was just talking about insurers yesterday, I didn't expect it to come in so quickly. However, they are talking about AIG. So, United States Insurance Company, AIG, we're the main policy holder for this. They're going to have to cover this. The reason I'm bringing this up, this is a main way for them to also pump money into the economy without getting approval, not having to be voted on, because what happens, these insurance companies are a backside that go into these, whether it's natural disasters or other things that they have to cover. And then the insurance companies, if necessary, are either flooded between several different methods that they get funded, or at the very last resort, they get subsidized by the United States government. So we're going to watch more insurance companies building on these types of stories. So I had another short one. We were talking about credit unions. Navy Federal is now on the real-time payments network. So this is the Fed now. We were talking about this yesterday, and more credit unions will follow. So I just wanted to bring that one up. So we're talking about unemployment. My expected numbers were to basically double from where they were in January, starting the year. And this story is talking about how unemployed Americans being forgotten in a strong job market. Strong job market is about to pivot. They're talking about the states don't update employment benefits for inflation. Inflation is outpacing pay, as we know. And then also that um, Americans, this was another story I'd brought up, that they're beginning to drain their 401ks to survive. I got a little bit of pushback on that, but we're watching this on several fronts, and it's just that charts and a lot of the things that we're watching are lagging, particularly for the Federal Reserve. So when I get some of these numbers in these reports, they are a bit early. So we've also got German unemployment. This is another true indicator of the economy in the European side. Their unemployment is beginning to increase, and we will watch that going up as well. So we just had a contradictory report not long ago that they couldn't find enough people to hire for their manufacturing. And I was calling that out as not completely accurate because they were not offering open jobs. And this was a different thing. So now the truth is beginning to come out. Unemployment is indeed increasing there. Okay, we've got more customers canceling streaming services as our rates rise. So we were talking about discretionary spending. It's starting to hit the chopping block. Inflation, we've got Chick-fil-A as an indicator in this story, raising its prices more than 20%. Companies have to pass on the inflationary cost. So they're not going to take this cost and not to pick on Chick-fil-A because it's going across the board. McDonald's, when they raised their minimum wage, and now everybody's complaining about them raising their prices. And that's just how it happens. So we have shipping giants diverting vessels from the Red Sea after another attack. So we were talking about the attack yesterday. So Maersk decided that they are going to again take that longer route, and that is also going to increase inflation, shipping delays, supply chain disruptions, and so we'll be paying more in prices because of this. So on war. So this one is talking about the United States Navy. This is in the South Korean area. They're beginning to hold live fire drills for the new year, and this is just increasing for their war there. We did also watch the United States pulled back warship from the Red Sea. Iran has now deployed one, and I think they're pulling them back. We are basically using what we call our mothball fleet. So it's not just our active, but we're pulling out everything that we have in store. Basically, all of the good guns. So we're going to have war increasing this year for sure. So on the BRICS, we've got Saudi Arabia has officially joined. We're going to be watching a few other things going on with this. The Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, if you are new to this, is coalition with the trade. So stay with us and we'll update you on this going on. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up is kind of funny. So Zomato is kind of basically delivery service over in India, in Hyderabad. Basically, they're having shortages from truck protests for fuel. So they're beginning delivery, basically like DoorDash in the United States on horse. So you see this guy loaded up. So I thought people getting very inventive and they always find a way. So there's a lot of light in this, a lot of opportunity. We're going to pay attention to what's going on. And I think that while it looks very dark, there's a lot of good things that are happening here. And so just stay with us. I'm going to wish you a good trading day. And please like and subscribe if there's anything in here that you do indeed like. I appreciate all of your support. And until I see you again, my friends, stay free.